Peace and light, that old guy Australia, not coming to you from the comfort of an armchair with a beer watching the Australian Open tennis. No, and it won't happen this year. Stick around and I'll tell you why. In the meantime, like, share, subscribe, hit the like button. Make sure you hit the notification button on YouTube or on Instagram. It's very important. Like, share, subscribe. Now, anybody who knows me knows I like a bit of sport, and if it's golf, I'll watch it 20 days a week. I would play it, but I've had a lot of things on my mind and I haven't been able to. I haven't had a game for 10 weeks. I'm having a game on Saturday with Mr. Paulie Batten and his champion son, I think, but we'll see. And I'll go and hack my way around and have a great time doing it. Now, I love my tennis. I had some Morrison as a young guy with my wooden racket, and I love playing the game, despite the fact that I'm smashed right arm now means I can't serve overhead too real well, but doesn't matter. I still enjoy a hit now and then. Now, this has become one of the great stories of Australian sporting history. Let me tell you why. Last year, the defending champion and world #1 player, Novaks, after 6 months of negotiations and communications with Tennis Australia, the Department of Health and the Australian government, was given the green light to come to Australia to defend his title, which he's obligated to do under contractual reasons unless he's injured. Now, the most notable players who didn't come claiming injury were Roger Federer and Serena Williams. Of course, our own world #1, Ash Barty, just walked away from the game. Now, if you don't know why those 3 players left the game, I can't help you. However, Novak was told it was okay to come. Come on out, we love you. Now, a player like that, who's the world #1 player, when he comes to a country like Australia, he brings with him millions and millions of dollars of revenue and sponsorship and viewership and ratings for the station showing the tournament. Now, it just so happens last year was an election year for the Scott Morrison-led Liberal coalition government. Now, his spin doctors told him that they needed something big to hinge their campaign on. Oh, he said, in came one of his little, I've called them this in another video, little dirty fuckers, came in and said, "Oh, I've got something you can hang your hat on, Scotty. This is a great one. You won't believe it. I found out that Novaks hasn't been given an untrialled, untested medical procedure." Well, said Scotty, let's get him to Australia. And when he gets here, let's go rue him over. And they did. They got him here, and all hell broke loose. They had the support of the media, who'd been given the green light, the thumbs up, and away they went. They circled, and they struck. And before long, Novak Djokovic was the #1 headline around the country. He was then put into a detention centre, locked away before being extradited away from Australia. And Morrison came out giving his virtue-signalling speech about saving the country, protecting the people, not having people think they're above the law. And that's the same man who protects people who rape children. But Novak was above the law. Oh, Scotty. Not just double standards, hypocrisy knows no bounds. Hey, you little Klaus Schwab. Anyway, I'll get to that road. Now, here we go. But this year, in the land down under, things have changed dramatically. Now, no longer do you not need to prove that you have not or have received an untrialled, untested medical procedure, but you don't even need to supply a rat test saying you're not infected. I mean, oh, the wonders will never cease. Isn't it amazing? I know. So what's happened? No longer do we have death rates and infection rates scrolling across our screen endlessly. No longer do we have jabbed versus unjabbed numbers being thrust in our face. No longer. No, they said we don't need to do that anymore. Instead, we have the highest rates of infection ever seen in Australia. We have the most amount of people in ICU ever seen before. We have more deaths from Coveed than was reported during the height of the pandemics. But we have no lockdowns, no LGAs, no. No, we don't need them. And the mandates are gone. Except if you work in the healthcare industry, where the people, those companies who rely upon government sponsorship and subsidy and grants, have built them into their OH&S practices. Oh, you didn't know? Well, there it is. But the government have washed their hands of the mandates. Oh, Scotty, you're a champion, son. And you'll be heading into a room next to Georgie Pell. Now, we know, the purebloods, why the ICUs are full, why the hospitals are overflowing, why the clot buses are running up and down the highways on a regular basis. It's because there are suddenly so many people in Australia whose immune systems are totally shot. Their white blood cell count way down, suppressed they are now, and falling sick to just about anything that goes past. And we know that. And the reason they're not reporting the numbers is because they're damning figures. And they show that the vast majority, over 95% of those who've taken things to improve their health. In fact, it's killing them. Might I digress again? So Novak Djokovic has come out this year. Despite being deported from the country last year, he has come back. The man is humble and deserves respect. And he's brought with him billions of dollars in revenue and huge ratings. Because you know what? He played his first tournament last week in South Australia, the South Australian Open, which he won. So now he comes into the Australian Open. A tournament for decades that I've watched with Celis and Sampras and the likes, which I've loved. But this year, I won't be doing it. No. It's my little protest against the disgusting behaviour of a Christian Prime Minister and a media that is owned and controlled. But this is a year, 2023. The Great Awakening it's been referred to, but it's not. It's what I like to call the long exposure, where 3 years of hell will be revealed. This is a year. You don't believe me? That's okay. I don't mind. But this is a year when so much truth will come out that people will begin to realise suddenly that they've been lied to and fooled. And they will begin to question the government because the race is on. It's just a matter of who gets to the finish line first. Will it be Klaus and his crew? Or will it be truth and freedom? It's a great race. I'm in it. Are you? Peace and light, that old guy Australia. Like, share, subscribe. We'll catch you soon.